Hi, today is Chapter 6 still, Systems of Equations. This is day 4. Learning our last method we'll learn right here in Algebra 1, the substitution method. So in the substitution method, you are going to substitute. So the first step you have to do is you have to solve one of the equations for either x or for y. So in this first question here, I would solve the top equation for y because it's already done for you, right? Y equals negative 8x plus 12. So that means y is the same thing as negative 8x plus 12. I know that equation is solved for y because it's y equals. Y is alone on one of the sides. So then, now that I know that y is the same thing as negative 8x plus 12, I can replace y in the other equation with what y is equal to, negative 8x plus 12. So I'd have negative 3x minus 7 times y goes out. In for y, since it's multiplication, we put it in parentheses, is what y is equal to, negative 8x plus 12. And then we're still equal to 22. So we substituted in for y in the second equation with what y is equal to, negative 8x plus 12. Now you see we have an equation with one variable, only x, so we can solve. So we would distribute first. We have negative 3x, negative 7 times negative 8x is positive 56x. Negative 7 times 12 is negative 84, and we're still equal to 22. Combining like terms, negative 3 and 56, I have 53x, still minus 84, still equal to 22. To get rid of our minus 84, we would add 84. So now we're sitting at 53x equals 106, and 106 divided by 53 is 2. Now, just like an elimination, to find the other variable, to find x, we would substitute back in. The good thing about substitution, you're always going to have this equation from step 1 that solves for what you're looking for. We need y, it's solved for y. I can substitute in 2 for x. So I've got y equals negative 8 times x we know now is 2 plus 12. So then when I solve, negative 8 times 2 is negative 16 plus 12. And negative 16 plus 12 is negative 4. So my ordered pair, my x comma y, would be 2, negative 4. And this is the substitution method. So in number 2, again, I can see the top equation is solved for y. Y is the same thing as negative 4x plus 10. So in the bottom equation, I can substitute in for y, or I can replace y with what it is equal to, negative 4x plus 10. So I go 5x minus 2 times in parentheses, because it's multiplication, the new y is negative 5x plus 10, and we're still equal to 6. So then I distribute, I get 5x, negative 2 times negative 4x is positive 8x, negative 2 times 10 is negative 20, still equal to 6. 5x plus 8x is 13x, still minus 20, equal to 6. To get rid of a minus 20, we add 20. So now we're at 13x equals 26, and 26 divided by 13 is 2. So now that I know x is 2, I can go back to that original equation and find y. So y equals negative 4 times, we now know x is 2, plus 10. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8, plus 10, gives us that y is 2. So then my ordered pair answer, x comma y, would be 2, 2. All right, number 3, I can see that the top equation is already solved for y. So I would substitute into the bottom equation for y, what y is equal to, negative 4x plus 2. So I'm going 2x minus, he's coming in parentheses, negative 4x plus 2, still equal to negative 2. And remember, there is something to distribute there, a common mistake. There's an invisible 1 here, so we have to distribute that negative 1 in. So 2x, negative 1 times negative 4x is positive 4x. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2, equals negative 2. So then combine like terms, 2x plus 4x is 6x, minus 2 equals negative 2. To get rid of a minus 2, we would add 2. So then we're sitting at 6x equals 0 is negative 2 plus 2, and 0 divided by 6 is 0. Substituting that back in, y equals, we know that y equals negative 4 times x is 0 plus 2, which would be y equals, multiplying by 0 doesn't do anything, so we're just left with 2. Ordered pair answer, x comma y, would be 0, 2. All right, now on this next one, I can see that neither equation, top or bottom, is solved for x or y. So the best case scenario that we can hope for is that one of them has a coefficient of 1. So we don't have to work through with fractions. That will always happen today. So I can see this bottom equation has an x that has a coefficient of 1. So I want to solve this bottom equation for x. So to solve for x, to get rid of the minus 2y, I would add 2y on both sides. So then x equals, I can't combine 2y and negative 5, so variables first. This would be 2y minus 5. So now I solve the bottom equation for x. So I replace x in the top equation with what x is equal to, 2y minus 5. Right? So you have to solve one of the equations for x or y when it's not already done for you. So now I'd have 5 times x is 2y minus 5, still minus 7y, still equal to negative 7. Distribute. 5 times 2y is 10y, minus 25, minus 7y equals negative 7. Like terms, 10y minus 7y is 3y, minus 25 equals negative 7. To get rid of a minus 25, we add 25. So 3y equals 18. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So now that I know that y is 6, I can substitute that back in to find x. So x equals 2 times y is 6 minus 5. 2 times 6 is 12 minus 5 gives us x is 7. So my ordered pair answer, x comma y, would be 7 comma 6. All right, 2 more. Number 5, I can see that first equation as an x with a coefficient of 1. So that's what I want to solve for. I'll go over here. So I have x minus 4y equals negative 21. So to solve that for x, to get rid of the minus 4y, I would add 4y. So I've got x equals 4y minus 21. So now that I know that x is 4y minus 21, I would substitute the 4y minus 21 in for x in the bottom equation. So I have 7 times x is now 4y minus 21, still plus 3y equal to negative 23. I distribute. 7 times 4y is 28y. 7 times negative 21 is negative 147. Still plus 3y, still equals negative 23. Like terms, 28y and 3y is 31y. Still minus 147 equal to negative 23. To get rid of a minus 147, we add 147. So now we're sitting at 31y equals 124. And 124 divided by 31 is 4. So now that we know that y is 4, we can replace y with 4. So x equals 4 times y is 4 minus 21. X equals 4 times 4 is 16 minus 21 gives us x to be negative 5. So our ordered pair answer, x comma y, would be negative 5 comma 4. All right, on number 6, we actually have a tie, right? You could solve the top equation for either x or for y, right? They'd be the exact same since you have a coefficient of 1. It's just as easy to solve for one as the other. So I'm going to go for y, right? Why not? It looks like slope-intercept form. So to solve for y, I subtract x. So I have y equals negative x minus 1. So now that I know that y equals negative x minus 1, I'd substitute that in for y in the bottom equation. So I have 5x minus 7 times y is negative x minus 1, still equal to negative 5. I would distribute. So 5x, negative 7 times negative x is positive 7x. Negative 7 times negative 1 is positive 7, still equal to negative 5. 5x plus 7x is 12x, still plus 7, still equals negative 5. To get rid of a plus 7, subtract 7. So 12x equals negative 12. Negative 12 divided by 12 gives us x equals negative 1. So now that I know that x is negative 1, I've got y equals negative. X is negative 1 minus 1. Well, negative 1, that's like negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1 minus 1. Gives us y to be 0. So x comma y, x is negative 1, y is 0. Answer is negative 1, 0. And that's the beginning of the substitution method. We'll have one more day on it next.